and gentlemen, welcome to the Downtime Show with your host, Robert Jackson.
Oh, this must be the place. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Downtime. We have a wonderful show tonight. I know what you're thinking. He always says that. I really mean it this time. Honestly, I would say that even if we had like a bowl of fruit as a guest or something. But anyway, welcome to our little program. You know, I recently celebrated my 15th year of not drinking. And I got a message for you people still out there boozing. You lucky dogs, I envy you, because when I lose my ID or when my pants fall down or I break my tailbone, it's because I'm just a sober moron. You guys have an excuse, the alcohol. Now, there are some benefits to not drinking, despite what you heard. I get to sleep when I want to sleep and not just pass out. I usually sleep in a bed now and not some stranger's love seat with my legs hanging over. I put on pajamas and not wear the same clothes for 3 days. Come to think of it, I don't know if I've slept in my shoes since I've been sober. But you know, Arizona has strict driving laws, as you know. So I'm good on that. But I remember when I stopped drinking, people's first response was, oh, now you can be our DD. That's not why I got sober. I wasn't cool enough to hang out with them when I was partying, but they let me kick it as long as I can take them from the club to the drive-thru at Jack in the Box before I drop them off at some apartment complex off of Southern and Longmore. It's been so long since I drank, a lot of my friends now don't know me when I was partying. My wife says, I can't picture you drunk. Don't worry, babe. That's what they made Kodak disposable cameras for. The lab tech at Walgreens will tell you all about it. So we got a wonderful show today for you. We have our good buddy Anthony Newkirk. He's going to be here along with a wonderful hip-hop artist called DDaye. But before we get into that, our Downtime band, they got a little something for us. Downtime band, come on. Oh man, did I tell you these guys were hot or what? Okay, so as you know, I got a co-host. This guy, me and him, we're just like indispensable. We always got to be around each other, especially when we're filming the show. So let's hear it for our co-host, the one and only Claude Jackson. You guys seen my brother?
Nope.
You guys seen Claudia?
Who's that?
My co-host.
Oh.
Remember the guy that's right here? Okay, should we play? Okay, maybe he'll come back. Here we go again. Claude Jackson. Claude Jack, we already started, man.
I thought,
Dude, I thought you should have been ready. Okay.
I don't even got my clothes. What?
Can you guys play him in while he's walking from behind?
Well, you want me to?
We don't got time. You're supposed to be ready.
I'm ready. Getting ready.
I'm ready. The band's ready. Didn't you get the email? We
You
said
guys started early?
it was all sorted out. You even said yes. You respond. I know
I'm
Google
sweating in my kimono. Okay, what's going on here today?
Actually, so I don't know you go through this much trouble just to get ready for the show.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm totally committed to this show, as you can see, and I gotta admit, I mean I'm 65 years old, and the only way I can stay young is a little extra maintenance here and there.
Okay, so we're getting a little sneak peek behind the Claude Jackson. So unfortunately, what you see there is not always what tells the whole story, because he's got a lot of, looks like ironing. Is that my mom's old ironing board?
Yes, it was passed down from our grandmother, so yes.
I think she called it a blancha. Anyway, and what's with the kimono? You don't have did you go through like some kind of like?
Look, it's Pride Month, but more importantly, this feels really good on my skin. So.
And and the pajamas too. You really get pretty chill before a show.
Look, you just caught me at a bad time. All right, we've all been vulnerable. You just caught me then.
So I get the kimono, I get the bottoms and the pajamas or the slippers or whatever. The mask. So what?
It's a Korean mask, and I'll be honest with you, it's burning the out of my face right now.
Okay, all this just to look younger.
Exactly.
Okay, ladies, you think you're the only ones that, has to go through several steps, as it were, to look good? Us men, a lot of pressure is put on us too to look good and glamorous and fancy. Okay, I'll give you that. The bow. You don't have a lot of hair. Is that just to make you feel pretty? What's going on there?
It just says OMG, and I just like how that looks.
And you had like some kind of helmet, or what was going on?
Yeah, that's for acne, and UV rays. It's really, really scientific. Neutrogena.
Okay, I don't know what other kind of hygiene you've probably done since before the show started, but I'm hoping that's all taken care of.
Yes, and I'll be ready to go when you just got to give me a few minutes and finish my ironing, and I'll get my clothes on, and I'm ready to go.
Okay, well, this is a side of Claude that I haven't seen before, but I think, it gives me a nice little understanding, even though we're brothers and we grew up together. And, in my monologue, I was talking about, I don't know I guess you didn't hear it, but I had celebrated my sobriety as far as not drinking goes. And I know you went through your own
Yep.
ups and downs with that.
Yeah. I'm about 22 years. We talked about that before.
Okay.
You're like 15.
15.
Yep.
But you would never, even when I was drunk, you wouldn't see me wearing the stuff like that.
Actually, I've seen you drunk and you dressed worse than this.
Okay.
So let's not start passing judgment, all right?
Yeah, so for all you people that think you need to be drunk to make bad choices.
Look, you don't need alcohol to get a little silly, okay?
I think that says it all. As a matter of fact, this guy, he gets loose off of orange juice, to quote Fife Dog. And we got an excellent show. Did you see? Okay.
I know who was going to be today.
Okay, so Anthony Newkirk.
Yep.
So this guy, he's involved in the community in a lot of different ways, on and off the reservation, so to speak. So he's going to be giving us some good stuff here. And also your friend.
Yeah, DDaye. Yeah.
DDaye is going to be here.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to appreciate that you went through all this trouble to look good. And so, yeah, we're just here having a good time. So like I said, you guys want to stick around. We got some awesome guests. My brother is going to finish off his little beauty school dropout.
I borrowed the mask from the guys from the band, so we just kind of switch off.
Okay, it's pretty accurate when it comes to nose, eyes, and mouth.
Hey, the Koreans know what they're doing when it comes to masks.
Okay, but what about the rest of your skin? Is that already taken care of?
No comment.
All right, so here we go. So we're going to take a short pause for the cause. Downtime Band, they're going to play us out into a nice little funky break. And we're going to come back with Anthony Newkirk, Downtime Band. Let's hear it. Downtime Band, you guys are hot tonight. Everybody, welcome back to the show, Downtime. Man, we got a wonderful program, like I mentioned earlier, lined up. And we're going to start this thing off right. And you guys have been waiting for him. I know we have. Let's give it up for our first guest, Anthony Newkirk.
Yeah. Didn't know they had Kendrick Lamar there.
I kind of want you just to walk up again. So Newkirk, I remember we wanted to get you on the show because you're just like the most interesting man out there. So you do a lot of work with a lot of different groups, a lot of different organizations, and plus you got a lot of stuff going on personally, man. And it just seems like you're the ideal person to have on Gila River's first ever talk show. What do you say to that?
I consider it an honor. I mean, I just do what I do, and I don't, really look for accolades or anything like that. But to be appreciated is definitely an honor.
And you even got a haircut for the appearance too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get people with dreadlocks and things and whatever.
Usually, Adrian Thomas, man.
Okay, yeah.
Usually I cut my hair by myself.
Really?
But I actually went to the barber yesterday and got it nice edged up for you guys.
Okay, no, you're looking good. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So,
Okay.
One of the last times I saw you, you were working for a group called the Urban Members.
Gila River Urban Members Association.
Okay, what is an urban member for some of us that may not know?
So there's almost half the population that lives off the reservation. And so that's what we consider urban members.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are we urban?
I believe that fits our description. there.
Okay, so you're talking about us.
Yes.
I'm talking about, all of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Oh, well, let's get together, man. Let's do something. Let's get organized.
When do you guys meet, or when do the urban members meet?
We meet every last Saturday of the month.
Ooh, that's not good for me.
Well, we do Facebook Live too.
Okay.
He's just making excuses not to commit
You
to
know
anything.
what?
That's all.
That's okay. I know other people that are, urbans that have excuses. But it's not excuses. It's just how certain people, because people don't like to be labeled urban sometimes.
You know what? I was going to get into that, but there sounds like there's a lot of issues with urban members, and it's not like this is a new phenomenon because people from the community, they've been having to go into town and to work and to live, even out of state.
It's our family.
Probably over 100 years. So what's the legacy of urban members now, and where are we at today?
We're in a better place.
Okay.
And so right now we help out with phone, utilities, rental assistance. We help out with bus cards. And that's we just want to be on par with assistance that you get on the reservation. Okay. Obviously, we're not going to get everything, but there's disparities. I mean, we live in a city, we can work, we have jobs and things like that, whereas on the communities, there's limited opportunities. So it's kind of a back and forth, but the whole premise is that we stay connected to our culture and the community, and that we run towards each other instead of trying to fight a battle of getting away. You know what I mean? We don't want that divide.
It seems like, you mentioned a divide, so there probably is a time when an urban member may feel kind of out of the loop, or so to speak. And I guess that's where you guys come in to bridge that gap.
We do, and like I said, we're on Facebook Live, even just to be acknowledged. And we have community council and the governor that comes out to our meetings and supports our events and things like that. So just to have that presence, that's what most of the community wants, is just to be acknowledged that they're there, that we're not just a number going after a grant or a federal program or something like that. Because, I mean, our numbers are being used in those programs,
Understood.
but sometimes we don't see the benefit of those activities. So,
Okay.
Where you said what Saturday of every month?
last Saturday.
The last Saturday. And
Saturday
where's
of
that
every month.
exactly?
It's at Native American Connections downtown, right across from, it's at Central Indian School.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Okay, Indian school, is that, did you guys plan that? It seems like it's pretty convenient that you'd be on Indian school for a bunch of Indians.
Well, it's kind of fortuitous how it happened. The previous administrative boards and people that were taking care of the association didn't have an office set up, or so we were getting kicked around from place to place on where we're going to have our meetings at. And so the new board, we came in 2016 and kind of made some changes and made a home a different place, because that's one of the most important. We're basically a service center at our location.
Oh, I see.
So without the gym and the pool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, we can get a gym, we can get a pool.
I think
maybe
so.
One of these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the services is an important part, but it sounds like there's some fundamental things that I think need to change when it comes to urban members and how they participate in the community and in the government.
Yeah, I mean, there's constitutional issues as well.
Okay.
I mean, Article 3, Section 3 states that if you live 20 years off the reservation, you're automatically disenrolled.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Can we, let's not let the cat out of the bag on that one, because I think that means we would have been long gone a long time ago. No, I mean, I'm kidding about it, but.
Let him explain that one so we're not.
But that's the language, right?
That's the language. Yeah.
Okay, and then Why is that in there, and how can we get that removed?
Well, we're going to be putting up a nice campaign. We're hoping to bring legislation to the Legislative Standing Committee and have them put it on the ballot for 2020 when the governor's election is. And so that's when you need the most votes. The hardest thing to do is change the Constitution, any Constitution, and it should be that way. But you got to get the people out to vote. So we want to do an education campaign on what that is. Now, they've never enacted that section, but the fact that it's in there is really hurtful. And some people don't see it as hurtful, but it is. So
You're right. You know what? I bet the excuse is, well, we've never kicked anybody out based on that. So what's the problem?
Yeah, and everybody's saying, okay, well, why don't you guys enforce the Constitution? Well, if they enforce the Constitution, then half of us go away.
More than half.
More than half, probably.
Okay, well, let's get this Constitution thing sorted out as soon as we can, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? You know what? The urban member thing. I'm glad you were able to touch on that. But you're also into small business. You're working on your PhD. You're a veteran, and you got a lot of interesting things about you in your short years. It seems like you've accomplished a lot already. So when we come back from break, we're going to get into all the nitty gritty about my man Anthony Newkirk. So we're going to come back in just a few minutes. Don't go nowhere. This is Downtime. And we're back, everybody. Welcome to Downtime once again. We just had a wonderful first segment with our man Anthony Newkirk. He was telling us some of the scary tales of being an urban member, but there's some positive things too. So I'm glad that he's really helping out that organization. So you're a veteran too. I've seen you at some veteran functions as well, right? So yes. How does that play into your history?
I was born and raised in Chicago, and I came down here for high school, and as soon as I graduated high school, barely graduated high school.
Okay, sounds familiar.
Yeah. My mom had to actually sign me into the military because I was 17 years old. And so off I went, because, I didn't feel prepared for anything, no skills or anything like that. Okay. So off I went into the military, which is what a lot of people do. And both my parents are Vietnam veterans themselves, Army veterans. Right? Yeah.
Both of them. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. And also, there's a very well-known relative that's in your family tree, Mary V. Thomas, first female governor. We were talking politics earlier. So, man, that's got to make you feel proud because, she's a legend. I
was in the service while she was doing her thing politically.
Really?
Yeah. So when I came back, and she's like this rock star, we can go out to a restaurant and everybody's coming up to her, and it's like, wow.
She was fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Education is a big part of your personal development as well. Right. So you've earned a lot of degrees. So kind of where are you at in your education right now?
I had some stumbling blocks as many people do, and so I had some issues with alcohol. I had to do a little time. I did 3 years DOC in Florence, and when I got out, it was my aunt that was kind of took me by the ear and said, "Okay, you did your time. Put that in the past, and build yourself up." And so through the help of the community, going through education department, student services, I was able to get my bachelor's degree in information technology. Got that, and then I found out I was smart.
What a thing to discover.
Yeah, I was like, okay, and I got on the honors roll. I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I actually graduated with my master's degree in business administration at the top of my class. And
Golly.
So I got a 4.0, and I was like, okay, that proves it. Right
you went from 4.0s to 4.0s.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, and so you've been continuing on with your education. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. I thought I heard something about a PhD, is that right?
Yeah, I'm actually on Wednesday, and depending on the timing of the show, I'll be finishing up defending my dissertation and PhD in information technology.
Information technology. Yep. Well, I'm just going to clap right here for this guy.
Okay, so when this airs, you can call him Dr. Newkirk, but if he looks at you sideways, and probably the dissertation didn't go as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do an update on whether or not he
No,
passed.
I don't want all the pretentious stuff.
Yeah,
okay,
okay. You know what? This has been just a wonderful a little time spent with our man Anthony Newkirk here. We learned a lot about him and a lot about ourselves too, if you think about it.
Yeah,
So
we've been kind of on the same path, especially with the drinking and all. So
Yeah.
did you ever hang out off of like 3rd Avenue and no? Okay.
we were at the same parties.
Right.
Your small business, though, real quick. Can you plug your small business?
Well, I have a couple things. I do mobile nation technology. We build mobile applications, apps for phones, and I'm actually starting a new nonprofit called Warriors Code to get more natives into coding and technology and that.
Wow, we got to bring this guy back. I mean, I think we just tip of the iceberg, as they say. So we're gonna come back with our musical showcase. Wonderful, fantastic female artist named DDaye. She's just gonna knock off your socks. So we want to thank Anthony Newkirk. We're gonna take a short break. Downtime, everybody out there, don't go nowhere.
And we're back, and I have the pleasure to introduce the musical act and my good friend, DDaye.
The knife was thrust deep in my chest. The one who twisted the handle knew me the best. I had my theories of pain, but love I knew less. I had to throw off that burden and lay it to rest. When I was born, I was already torn between a burning world and the oath that was sworn to heal the nations through inspiration. Motivation was easy, that was till lately. I grew into my power, but all they did was resent me. Now I'm trying to find the strength just to give up. I'm looking to the sky, the earth to reclaim myself. I came to help and ended up needing help myself. It's funny, see, you are what you eat, like the of defeat that even family tried to feed me. Mom and daddy served compromise on broken plates for dinner. My baby served me fear smashed against the refrigerator. Now I'm cleaning the mess with the love that is in her. Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? Stop, she's innocent. Yeah, we all were in the beginning. Pure spirits, mother dimensions. In this world we call them children. What a world we live in, where life is trampled for $1. I'm trying to reach beyond the borders of space and time. What's the time? It's 2019. Living in dystopia, straight from the hellish dream where evil is rewarded and nothing is what it seems. Who pulls the strings? Puppet masters of the cogs, events and all that we see. Chaos is to blame. They'd like you to believe, but I assure you there's a far worse thing. Chaos created it all, from the dust that makes the stars to the one cradle in your arms. Nothing is totally random, but it's random enough to leave no one person in charge of another's purpose. Their goal is to steep you in insecurity, a bluff, fear of death. You're unlovable and never enough. Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? The knife was thrust deep in my chest, but only I can twist the handle, cause I know me best. I realized letting pain fester was useless, so I walked through the fire, turned my wounds into gems. Patience and healing turned grief into strength. Now I will never forget who I am. I'm strong enough with their help on my own, but no one should bear this existence alone. So if you know what I mean, bob your head to this song. Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love? Love is a choice, but rarely feels like enough. The world's so cold, hate fits like a glove. The shame and the blame, it's all a bluff. But why does it feel like we're so hard to love?
Yeah. All right, good job. We're gonna take a break, catch our breath, and we're gonna be at the table. See you then.
And we are back. Everybody, welcome back to Downtime. We are with our musical guest. This lady is just an incredible artist. We're talking about DDaye. So DDaye, man, you gave us a wonderful performance. We really want to thank you for coming out to our show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome, entertaining us, entertaining our audience, and all of our crew too. So we had a really good time. So DDaye, your real name is?
My name is Dominique Day Hunter, and I go by DDaye as for short, and my MC name is DDaye.
DDaye, that's like a lot. You can probably play around with it, the wording on that one. That sounds like a really awesome name. And then, so give us a little bit of background about you, because here in Arizona, I know some people have seen you kind of in the acting scene a little bit, but kind of give us the rundown. Who is Dominique Day Hunter? Where did this person come from?
Well, I'm a poet, spoken word artist originally. That's kind of how I got my start performing. And then about 3 years ago, I started doing hip hop live performances. And then this past April, I got my first chance at acting at Native Nation, directed by Larissa Fasthorse. Or written by Larissa Fasthorse and directed by Michael Garces.
Okay.
Sorry, Larissa.
Well, I really got to thank my co-host, Claude, because when we were scrambling, we need someone really good for this show. You know anybody?
And so I know exactly one person.
So you had one shot, and then he brought you over. So North Carolina. So that's where you're from. So give us a little tribal background about you.
So I am Black, Saponi, Irish, and Polish descent, and so my Black Saponi family is from a place called Oxford, North Carolina, and so but I was born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey, so New York tri-state area, and I've been out in Arizona, lived in Arizona between here and the East Coast basically for the last 10 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
A lot of miles in between, I'm guessing.
Yes, lots of miles.
Okay.
Lots of soundtracks.
I was gonna say, cause all them road trips. Man, that song that you performed, those lyrics, I mean, pretty heavy stuff you're kind of going into. So just if you can describe, like, what was it that you're communicating in them words?
Hard to Love, I was inspired really just driving home and experiencing, I guess, the rudeness of beautiful Phoenix drivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also just that heaviness of going out into the world. And I know a lot of people, in general can identify with this, but especially Indigenous people being away from their home communities and being in maybe like an urban area in a foreign place where there's limited relations and connection, and just that feeling of not just loneliness, but also just disconnection from people and wanting to be the best you can, what your ancestors prayed for, but it's difficult to love a world that sometimes feels unlovable, and sometimes it's even harder to love yourself.
Oh my God, you know what? I think you just touched on a lot of important points because, well, for one, Arizona is #1 in the country for road rage. So let's use a lot of that rage into something positive like our girl DDaye here did, and gave us just some wonderful music. So I'm guessing your spoken word probably goes into some of your cultural background and kind of how you grew up and stuff. So what is some of your poetry like?
Well, I started writing poetry when I was 13 years old, so I've been doing it for almost 15 years now. And so I was a very quiet, shy kid.
No,
I swear. I mean, you can ask my mom.
You can't fool us.
It was a long road, definitely, to get to be a performer and to actually be so outspoken. And so, like, when I see shy kids, because I also do community work and just, interacting with kids and they're shy and they're unsure of themselves, like, I can identify with that 100%. And so I used poetry growing up as a teenager as a way to cope with, dysfunctional, alcoholic, domestic violence, in my family. And, about 10 years later, I actually grew the strength to get on a stage. I had some friends who were like, come on, we love your poetry. Like, just get up and try it. And it was nerve-wracking, but just, kind of fake it till you make it. And that's kind of my poetry to my spoken word journey and into my hip hop.
I think that's an incredible journey. In Paterson, New Jersey, that's home of another famous poet, William Carlos Williams. And so I think you're kind of on the right path. So people want to maybe see you perform, listen to your spoken word. So where can we find out more about DDaye?
I have, my Instagram is DDaye Hunter, so DDaye Hunter. Don't forget the E, because I don't know who that is. And I also have music on SoundCloud, YouTube. You can also catch me on YouTube, Facebook. And I'm actually working on my up-and-coming album, The Blue Tape, which is a homage to my ancestors, and specifically on my African-American side, and really focuses on women's empowerment as a response to historical trauma, historical violence, domestic violence, and healing and empowerment in the community.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Music that actually makes a statement, has some substance to it. And so when you guys were performing Native Nations together, maybe there was some performance aspects to it as well? Like, did you get to play or perform for all the cast?
Yeah, but if I could chime in on that, we the rehearsals were really, really fun. We all got close, and like I don't think we shared the stage. Well, we shared like something at the end, but she had a very good, powerful scene that we all got to witness.
Actually grabbed the mic from you.
Yeah, that's right. That was one where she grabbed the mic in the end.
That's
but
idea.
it was a wonderful experience, and the only thing I can really say about that is that young people just go for it. I mean, she's a perfect example. As she said, she was a shy kid and then jumped into poetry and now in music and then anything part of performance. That's what I got out of it. I had a great time.
No, I think we were very lucky to, and I think we also got some nice little artwork on your nails, if you don't mind. Let's get a close up.
They're kind of messed up, but.
Okay, just show, just the middle one. Maybe the thumbs. The thumbs are the
thumbs. Yeah, the thumbs.
Okay, see, kids, you could be creative in your own little way.
Yeah.
So you could stand out a lot of different ways. So we want to thank Dominique Day Hunter, AKA DDaye. She performed just a wonderful song, man, just a great artist all the way around. So when that album drops, would you mind coming back?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
Okay. And we won't be able to pick you up from North Carolina, so
it's okay.
Figure that out.
So we want to thank everybody on our show today, Anthony Newkirk, along with DDaye, and it was just a wonderful experience once again to all of our Downtime people out there. And you guys stay cool. We'll see you guys next time. Downtime band, let's hit it.